What's up, everyone? We're back with another episode of My Turn, My Truth. When it's your turn, you do what?
Tell your truth.
Right now, you're looking at the Rice Man. Who do we have us with us today?
Mata.
It's your girl Ken. Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at m.kennedi. Y'all know.
I'm Mackenzie. How you doing? I'm the legendary EJ.
Yeah, the legendary
Legendary.
EJ. EJ, we got the man in the house today. So, EJ, for all y'all out there, we have a new member tonight. EJ, tell us a little bit about yourself.
For y'all that don't know, I am Morgan's boyfriend. I am.
Yeah, go on, put that out there.
I don't need to sugarcoat it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 24. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
I've been around the block a couple or two, so I'm not new. I'm
That
true.
part.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness. He's not new to
He's
this.
true
Nah,
to
you know
this.
he's true.
Yeah, you ain't new to this. You true to this. So, what's up? Icebreaker? Any icebreakers?
I got an icebreaker.
All right.
Okay, what's
So-
going on?
If you could add anybody to Mount Rushmore, who would it be and why? Chadwick Boseman. Honestly, I'm just gonna jump right in and say Chadwick.
So, you talking about the Mount Rushmore of actors or just
Of
anything?
presidents, like it's 4 presidents and then a random person. If you could just add one person to Mount
I'm still
Rushmore.
adding Chadwick Boseman, but it's a reason why, because like he's played a lot of like important roles and characters that a lot of people didn't see growing up. So for him to play like Thurgood Marshall, Jackie Robinson, all those type of people, like he has covered a lot of the bases for the Mount Rushmore. He's my one for sure.
Malcolm X.
Ah,
I don't think that needs an explanation, but yeah.
Malcolm
X.
I agree.
Well, since she said Malcolm X, I'm gonna have to go with Martin Luther King Jr.
Okay.
I was gonna say Michael Jackson.
Hey, he said actor. You can say
At first I was gonna say Beyonce.
Michael Jackson's just a legend before legends,
hater.
man. He changed the culture for pop, all that music culture.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
We were just talking about
I'll probably have to say Barack.
Well,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean,
I just felt like he took the ceiling off for a lot of people. You know, a lot of black people felt like it's the ceiling. We can be a lot of things, but we can never be that. You know, so
yeah, he was the most important person in the world.
He made that part possible
Yes.
for
I
us.
agree.
You know, and you know, he just like Jackie Robinson, a lot of players who broke through something for the first time.
Right.
Do you know what kind of hate and everything that them boys took? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we
So
still feeling
Barack
it.
took a lot of that too.
We still feeling it.
Yes.
We still feeling it today.
Yeah, I agree. But imagine how they felt because they're the one that's
Pioneer,
new to the sport, the
Right.
pioneer.
Right.
You know, they caught it.
Right,
So I would probably
right.
say Barack on
All
that.
right, that was fast. So I got another one.
Oh, we're doing more than one tonight.
Yeah, I was thinking about this at home. Best side character in all of entertainment.
Side.
So movies,
character.
cartoons,
Like
anime.
a sidekick.
Best side character, yeah.
I got
Side
mine
character.
already. All right, number one for me, Tombstone, Doc Holliday. You know that Wyatt Earp was the
Yeah.
was the character.
Yeah.
But
But Doc Holliday,
Yeah, he did that.
rest in peace, Val Kilmer.
Yes, rest in
he
peace.
died this year.
R.I.P.
But yeah, I'm going with Doc Holliday. Who we got?
Jeez, that was a good one.
Does this need to be like a human character?
No,
it
it
can be
doesn't. It
anybody.
can be
Yeah.
anybody.
Okay, well, the best sidekick to anything and everyone, I'm gonna have to go with Mr. Dick Grayson,
Mm.
Nightwing,
Mhm.
the original
Nightwing.
Robin Boy
Okay.
Wonder. So.
Yeah.
Dick Grayson is the one. Nightwing.
Well, I'm gonna go with something that I'm currently watching. I would say Mike Ross from Suits.
Period.
From
Suits.
Suits. Okay.
Let's
Suits,
go.
yeah,
We know it's
too.
about Harvey, but Mike, yeah.
Might
Yeah.
go hard. Might go
Right.
hard.
Now we're talking about Lewis.
No, we ain't talking about Lewis.
I really feel like Jessica run the show.
Yo, she run the show
She
now.
do run the show. It's
She
her
run it.
firm.
Yeah, she run that show.
I was gonna say Rigby, but
I was gonna say
I
Rigby.
knew you probably gonna say it.
Okay, best sidekick. Sam Puckett.
Okay.
From iCarly?
Her buttersock.
Yes,
Okay, I can
yes.
see that.
Sam was down with whatever.
Whatever.
I'm gonna do anime. I'm gonna go the GOAT. I'm gonna go Vegeta or Dragon Ball Z.
Kakarot.
Okay.
All right.
And then real life
Kakarot.
actors right now. Recently, I'm gonna go Braden off Power.
Oh yeah.
I like
Okay, so now,
Braden is tough.
so I like Braden, I like Mike Ross, and I like
I thought you were finna say Tommy when he said Brady.
I'm talking about the
Tommy
shorts
Doc
that we've
Holliday.
already
Doc
said.
Holliday.
And Doc
For sure.
Holiday. And the reason I like all those because Mike Ross went to jail for his folks. He said they ain't going down. Holiday,
He ain't had nothing to do
killed
with it.
his
He was
folks.
down.
he killed for
Yeah,
his
he
folks.
killed.
Period. He was getting ready.
He wanted to smoke.
He wanted all the
Even if you
smoke.
didn't.
But he said, "I'm your huckleberry."
Yeah,
That's what he said. That's what he said. And then with
Braden
Braden.
just don't go.
Braden,
He
no
like-
matter
he
how
loves
much him and Tyrese got into it at the end, and always really, he was always
Yeah,
there,
Brady was there.
and he was ready to jump him out of everything, and he didn't have to be.
He didn't. He was rich.
Right.
He's rich. He's
Yeah.
a man.
Yeah, okay, I
Well,
like
that's
them.
it.
I like
That's
them.
it. Everybody name there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who's starting off with the topics today?
You.
All right. Well, let me start off then.
Yeah.
If you don't
All right,
know,
so-
now you know.
Let's see.
He got a list, y'all.
I mean, I want to talk about.
I have a notebook.
We were not on the air last week, so we apologize for that.
Happy Memorial Day.
Had some inclement weather.
Oh,
and
no,
things
that
like
wasn't
that.
Memorial Day.
I
That
was
was
scared, by the way.
Memorial
I
Day.
almost
Yeah.
had
It was
a chance
still
to
Memorial
say.
Oh,
Day.
again, Happy Memorial Day.
He just said he was here and ready. We just didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. But over here, like where we live at in the boonies, if it storm hard and everything, the wind blow hard, our lights will flicker, go out, and we get a text from Georgia Power. And guess what? We said, okay, for inclement weather, we're not going to do it tonight. And then it's Memorial Day. Everybody enjoying their Memorial Day.
Burgers, ribs.
And guess what? The lights didn't go out.
Macaroni.
That part.
They stayed on.
That part. We were mad. We were
All
mad about it.
So there's a couple of trending topics that I do want to get into. First being, I don't know how much you guys watch sports, but we're big sports people over here, and some action happened in the WNBA a week or so ago, where Caitlin Clark, y'all know,
Always.
fouled Angel Reese pretty hard. It wasn't even really hard, just a good hard foul.
It was a good foul.
A good foul. Angel Reese jumped up and kind of had her hand back, like she really wanted to hit Caitlin. She really kind of had the whole cock back, you know. They broke it
Wow.
up and everything. So some of the sports analysis was kind of tough on this. One being Robert Griffin III, which is RG3, played for the Redskins.
He
He
played
was an
for
NFL quarterback.
Baylor. in
Yes,
college.
Baylor in college. He made something. He said it felt like, it looks like, and feels like Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark. That was his take.
Okay.
And you know that
Your
comes
turn,
across
your truth.
incredibly sensitive to the black community, because why the black girl got to be painted as the hateful,
The
The angry
hateful,
black
angry,
woman.
villainous black
Yeah.
woman, and you know she has to hate this white girl because the white girl fouled her. I guess they do have a history
Right.
that goes back to college. Okay, you know the whole Angel Reese
LSU,
doing
Iowa.
the thing. So
Back. Doing it
yeah,
back.
so but everybody like, why she gotta hate Caitlin Clark? So Ryan Clark, which is another
NFL.
ESPN analysis, played on the same team with RG3. They were ex teammates, and they did not get along on the field and in the locker room. But Ryan Clark says, because let me set the stage again.
Set it.
When Robert Griffin III, RG3, made this comment, his wife, he made it on his podcast, his home podcast.
Okay.
His wife sitting in the back, you know, clapping for her husband as he says what he says. His Caucasian wife,
Fair skin.
fair skinned white wife,
White.
his white wife. So
Right.
so Ryan Clark said, hey, you know, you don't. He questioned. He was like, you know, RG3, we got your analysis. Why she got to hate Caitlin Clark? And he also questioned that RG3 really didn't have the capacity to say that. He said, so when the last time did you in your home talk about the plight of the black woman, the struggles of a black woman?
Right.
You got a white wife. How do you know? Why you gonna speak on this like this when you don't have these conversations at home about what black women go through? And you just made it worse for one, basically, by saying she hates Caitlin Clark. And a lot of people took that take in like, hey, wives are off limits. you brought this man's wife into it and everything like that. So, but what does that have to do with his take? So, what do y'all feel? Do you feel like Ryan Clark? I mean, well, RG3 should have been able to make that analysis.
Absolutely.
Yes, he's a.
Go ahead.
And do you feel like Ryan Clark had a point?
Absolutely. I see it both
so
ways.
let's discuss.
Oh wait, well, before we go there, we do have a comment from Mike Brown. He says Angel Reese is very ghetto.
That's not true.
I agree with EJ. I don't think that
she's from Prince George County. Either. That's 25 minutes away from my grandmother's house. So no,
I just think
she's not ghetto.
Before we get into that, I'm gonna say, Angel Reese, I applaud you for finna punch Caitlin Clark. That's just the love of the game. You didn't really punch her. It's just I understand the heat of the moment. Like if I'm gonna get a fast break layup and we almost down by I don't know how much, and my mom pulled me and I'm finna get a layup, I might try to swing on my mom, bro. Like I already know how. I'm not saying I'm swinging. I'm saying I already know how sports. I know how sports get, and I know it wasn't just a hate thing. It was just the heat of a moment thing. That's just real sports, real competition. In because if you ain't almost finna fight, then you ain't competing hard enough. Almost. That's how
I really want to choose an outside perspective on the whole thing, though, because it's like, I mean, even though yes, it is. An altercation that transpired. It's just narrative. It's how it was filmed. It looks that bad. You don't know what happened on that court. Yes, Angel Reese might want have had to punch Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark held her or whatever. But you don't know what happened before that. You don't know what was said, what was whispered in whose ear. So you can't really pick a side. But to the Robert Griffin and Ryan Clark situation, it's just like y'all on the same side with two different views. So regardless of how you feel about one person having the same thing you have, he still has it right as himself being a black man, to defend the race of his of just to defend anyone. It doesn't matter what color they are, personally. But I don't know.
Okay, so my thing is this: before I think when we were talking about it prior to or prepping from the last podcast that we didn't do because of inclement weather. Sorry about that. But anyways, one of the things I said, just because a man marry a white woman or a woman marry a white man, that does not take away their right to speak on their race.
Right.
Because like in conversation, yes, my son is married to a white woman, but his mom black all day long. His sister black all day long. His daughters, if he have them, will be black. So he has all rights to speak on black women because that's who raised him, of course, with his black father. So just because they marry outside their race, that don't mean that they no longer have a voice. So that I need to stop that right there. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then, but on the flip side of it, I think the other dude came at him because of, like EJ said, the perspective he was trying to spin, trying to say that girl hate Caitlin.
That's a rough word.
Yeah. So hate is a very, very harsh word. And we're in sports. So we see all kinds of reactions. And like Marlon said when he was explaining it, this goes back to their college days because Caitlin Clark, she was the first one doing the little hand wave thing. Mm-hmm. And then when Angel Reese did it back at her, she got all the flack for it. And she got villainized for it. And she said, you know what? I would take the villain role because it ain't just about Caitlin Clark. It's about me too because I'm making waves in this sport as well. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying now me personally, I don't think that she should have did the punch motion. I didn't know that part until tonight. I don't think that she should have did the punch motion because I feel like it's feeding into the narrative of what people are trying to do between the two.
I feel like the punch motion may have been just a natural reflex.
It probably was.
I mean, a lot of people, not in basketball, but if somebody just pushed you or something, that's a natural reflex to something. Just because she's playing basketball don't mean she don't have natural reflexes.
But they gonna say it's a natural reflex for a black woman.
I think, and everybody's gonna be a villain.
I think if we put just that play, it seems like, it's but when you look back to college, the dialogue they've had when Caitlin Clark went to the WNBA, it immediately blew up. The fans, the stand, everybody, because Caitlin was so electrifying in college offense. She was shooting from the hash
And
mark,
she
half
can
court.
play.
So a lot of players, black players in the WNBA who actually made this league what it is, felt hurt. They're like, hey, y'all, this girl coming getting all this praise and all this stuff going, but we the one who make the sports. My numbers are better than hers. Why you talking about her? And I'm the MVP, and she gets more than I do. And she's come to this sport with all this fanfare. But
that's why she's coming with the fanfare.
But to be fair, Caitlyn didn't put the fanfare herself.
Correct.
She just play ball.
Correct.
She's very
So
humble.
I think when people look at Caitlyn, they want to be mad at Caitlyn for like, hey, you white, you come in the sport, it's kind of a almost all black sport, and you dominating all the TVs and everything's wrong you. You didn't deserve that yet. And she's just playing ball. I didn't put this on myself.
Right. Like you acting like I gave it to myself.
Yeah, I'm not saying, hey, come look at me, put the camera in my face. I'm just playing ball. And I think she's getting a lot of unnecessary hate. But I do feel like I think the other athletes have a point, but it's not Caitlyn.
Yeah.
So, but I think that there's been more things going along. There have been tweets Angel Reese has made in the past. There's been time when they first got in the league, she said it's just not Caitlyn in the league.
And she's right.
It's us, so it's not the foul. This most recent foul.
It's everything.
They've had flagrant fouls between each other before last year.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a history going back from college. So if you just look at that one foul, it just kind of like, So RG3 was kind of looking at this whole thing and saying, it just like she hated the girl.
It makes it good for sport.
I don't think that it's hate, honestly. I just feel like it's just good old fashioned rivalry.
A rivalry.
That's exactly what it is. It's not a hate. Because once again, people go to jail and get harsher punishment for hate crimes. So when you use the word hate, it just puts such a negative connotation on what's really going on. I feel like these are two people that are rivalries.
And passionate about the sport.
That's just like when we was coming up and our football team played against one of our rivalry schools. We are going at their head, wanting to win that game.
But it ain't hate.
But it ain't hate.
We couldn't even shake hands at the end of the game.
Right. It's
good
you're my
old-fashioned
opponent
rivalry.
right now.
But I hate social media and I hate people's perspective for certain things because what they're looking at. And then they'll sit here and then and social media has allowed us to have such a huge platform that when a certain narrative is always spent, then that's what's going to catch hold. That's that's what people are going to run with.
And that goes back to what EJ was saying about the whole narrative thing, because I mean everybody wants the entertainment narrative to be the good guy and the bad guy. This
good versus evil. Good versus evil.
There's got to be a villain
in
somewhere.
Business, the narrative is always going to be beef or
Messy.
argument or messy. Like that goes with TV shows.
Sometimes like I feel like us as a black culture or race can have a negative effect on ourselves because it's like y'all want to be treated completely differently. But like, let's just take the WNBA thing. Yes, it was built on the backs of Black, Latino, or other race of Americans. You know what I'm saying? But like, you like, yeah, she getting all the credit, but we paved the way. But you're upset with who you paved the way for. I think that's what's really judgmental and why a lot of the conflict ensues. Because it's like, she's not the same as me, so why is she getting all the credit? But it's like...
But it's a hint of jealousy. Now, if he would have said that she's jealous, not that I'm saying that Angel Reese is jealous, because I don't think so.
Right.
But it does carry a jealous vibe.
It definitely
versus a hate vibe.
Right.
I mean, but I guess, well, I ain't gonna get all into the spiritual.
Absolutely.
Right. And I go back and I agree with that too. If anything, they did say jealous last year. Remember we talked about jealous, so that was a big thing.
Yeah.
But I do feel like now looking at Ryan Clark's point, I think a lot of black people look at our black sportscasters and our media representatives on television and think they have a racial duty to not paint us with a bad brush.
Right.
When there's an opportunity to use another word other than hate, because we know how we've been portrayed in the media, on TV. We know all of these things. So we feel like, RG3, you had a duty there to not villainize the black woman when she's villainized more than every other race of woman in the world. And she's pointed at and poked at and prodded at and talked about more than every race of woman in the world. And now you're doing it to one of your own. He took those arrows. And Ryan Clark was like, who are you, bro? You got a white wife. Now you on here talking about black women. So he took it. He felt hit. He felt hit. And a lot of people felt hit because of the responsibility that we as black people put on RG3. He didn't put it on himself.
I was just about
now
to
RG3 was just making an analysis based on things that he's seen, and that was his point of view.
He should be able to say that. What I said, I think that a lot of people, they go, oh, everybody's entitled to their own opinion until somebody gives an opinion that you don't like. Now it's like, oh, you're not entitled to that opinion. You can say other opinions, but once I don't agree with you, or once your opinion is anti-black and you're a black person, like, our opinion don't have to be going with because of who the race is, who our race is. And his opinion is his opinion. He had every right to say it. And I feel like that the other guy, he had every right to feel the way he felt as well. And I think it's just, everything is just, it's pitted for propaganda and it's for views.
And I will say on the Ryan Clark side, since I do have a white wife, I feel like my opinion on a black woman is kind of shunned in society's eyes. I don't give a damn what.
There we go, brother.
Get that.
Hey,
I'm just putting it out there. What you say, but in all reality, like, his word will be more bond than mine because of Morgan.
Right.
Rather than me with Marielle, they would listen to him and try to give leeway to him before he said it for me. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, I don't really care, but so I understand where Ryan Clark was going with that. He's like, bro, I have a black woman, I have a black family and all that stuff, but that don't take away from RG3's point, because
it doesn't.
And
if a white person would have said it seems like she hate him.
But I think that the one of the big things is that his wife was back there kind of in the back. You can see her in the chair back there clapping it. And that again ticks some people off.
Okay,
she's just green.
But if a black,
she should champion her man. Right. Whatever he's saying.
He wouldn't even think
if
like
the
that.
other dude wife was back there championing him, it would have been a black woman championing her black husband. It's the same. It can't be. See, and I know it's gonna sound real cliche, and I'm not gonna say we don't see color, because we do. Because of where we live at in the time that we're living in. But it would be great, like, if we take the color out of it for a moment and look at this husband championing her husband, because if his black wife was there and she was clapping, would have been an issue. No, but I do want to say this. I do want to say this though. What people need to understand is, just because you're pro-black don't mean you're anti-white.
Hey,
we pro-blackness is a proud thing. Exactly.
Me too.
It's a proud of who you are. What your people endured, what we're still currently enduring today, and we have. It's a thing of pride. It has nothing to do with I don't like a certain race. But it's just like, it's threatened when we have that prideness about us, when we have that excellence about us. Everybody else get to be prideful. Everybody else get to be entitled. Everybody else get to be excellent. But when we do it,
let's get scared, like Farrakhan
said. Exactly.
My biggest thing with race is, especially people who like are advocates or activists for race, it's just like, y'all put the color way too much in front of the actual injustices that happen. It's just like, if there's a systematic problem, y'all look at who's it affecting over the fact that it's affecting a vast majority of people. So just like, yes, I definitely am one of the people that are pro-black. I love black everything, black owned, black whatever.
Soul food.
But that doesn't mean anything else is less distinguished because it's not what you are. Right. Your culture appropriates. You feel me?
Absolutely.
I will say that. But on the opposite side of that, I will say, just because they're activists for specific things that are pro-black, or that's not belittling what everything else is. They're just bringing an awareness to what they're activists about. Just like certain charities,
what their plight is.
Just like charities, like St. Jude, they're about kids with cancer. It's not taking away that adults have cancer. It's just, this is what we're focusing on. Kids have cancer. Yes, white people have problems, but right now we're focusing on this.
It's the whole Black Lives Matter thing.
Right, absolutely.
Black Lives Matter is not saying that y'all lives don't matter.
It's saying right now our lives
these people are hurting right now, so let's focus on this. So that's it.
Right, because if the Lord knows the shoes on the other foot, and we was the ones oppressing them, and if they said white lives matter, then I'd be like, yeah, I'll probably be on that boat. Like, white lives do matter. Like they going through it right now. Respect it.
Yeah, well, that's the only one.
Jimmy Robinson said this, and what's up, Jimmy? And what's up, Mike Brown and Tabitha and Pierre and everybody else who's joining on? Jimmy Robinson asked a question that I do want to bring out. Can you be pro-black with a white spouse?
Yes,
is what he said. So I think the answer to that, Jimmy, is.
But let him answer.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Do I not?
No.
Okay.
I ain't saying you can't answer.
Saying,
that's not what I'm saying.
He's definitely going to turn when he turns to the truth. You know what I'm saying? I just read the question. Let me say. I do feel like, yes, Jimmy, you can be pro-black isn't saying that you hate all other races. It's
Correct.
just saying that you want to help push a black agenda. Or want black change or something like that. So I believe that absolutely you can.
Good answer.
I also believe that you fall in love with who you fall in love with.
Absolutely.
That part.
And that's just it. I mean, we're creatures of habit. We are going to be around who we be around. There are a lot of things factoring into that. But you can definitely push an agenda, push the betterment for blacks, push black achievements, push black education, knowledge and everything like that. And still end up falling in love with a white spouse or falling for a white spouse. I think that's absolutely, you can do both.
Okay, I'm gonna let Mackenzie answer that because I have another question.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's his answer.
Yes,
My answer is yes.
I mean, if not, I mean.
So Jimmy, I'm gonna ask you a question. I want you to respond back in the chat, please. So, if you have a white spouse, do that mean that your black card is taken away?
Right.
And if so, why?
Right. And as Jimmy is answering that or formulating his answer or typing it, I do want to say that I don't think RG3 loses his voice. He was still raised by a black woman, like you said earlier.
In a black family.
Black family.
Black.
Do you think he forgot how to be black? Like all of a sudden, like
he's still
because
black.
he married a white woman. He didn't grow up black. He didn't grow up in need. He didn't grow up being oppressed. People didn't stop him from doing things. You think as an athlete,
they still don't right now.
He had an easy road because he was black.
Looking at him the
exact
same way.
And he still had right now.
He still had to kick, try a little bit harder, push a little bit harder because of he was black. I don't think he forgot or has lost his voice because when people see him walking down the street, they see a black man, and they're going to consider him a black man, and all the stereotypes that go with black people. From the propaganda being put out and everything like that, he still has to go through. He hadn't forgot how to be black.
And he didn't turn white when he married a white woman.
And now, and not even that is even that he's still black, and now he got to get it from the white community and the black community.
Absolutely.
And Jimmy said, no, he does not believe your black card is taken away. He does.
Thank you, Jimmy.
I have a question, really, for everybody in this room and everybody who's watching as well. Do you think in order to be pro-black, you have to be a black person?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
I agree.
And the reason I say no is because when we were fighting with the Confederacy, we didn't do that alone. We could not have done that alone. It's way more white people in the United States than there is black. And we have a lot of white allies that really believe what we believe and really believe in justice and equality for all people. So I feel like now I'm not saying that they will be able to truly feel what we've been through or what we're going through, but that does not mean that they can't be a very strong ally.
I'm interested to know Dad's.
I don't think I would call an ally pro-black.
I think I'm with Mackenzie on this. I don't think we had a lot of white allies that felt like that was the right thing to do. They were fighting for justice for all. They were fighting for the freedom of all men. Don't know if they could be pro-black if they're not black. I don't know how you could be.
Yeah, like if I'm an ally to the white,
I'm not pro-white. I'm not saying we
pro-black.
needed the white people that helped us. We absolutely had to have them to achieve what we achieved, but I don't know if the term pro-black
that might be pro-freedom.
You can be pro-freedom,
pro-freedom, pro-America,
pro-Christian, and a lot of things like that. That meant I need to help them.
Because why would you put? I hate how to say this, but why would you put another race above yours almost?
I just would say I'm pro-equality.
But
I'm pro-equality. I'm pro-no slavery.
Pro-equality.
I guess what I'm looking at, I guess it can't be pro-black, but if they say that they are pro-black, then I feel like it's a statement to say that I stand with this community.
That's
what I'm saying.
Okay. I knew that was what Bob was saying.
But that's the way not my definition of pro-black.
Yeah,
right.
Okay. And Jimmy Robinson has in the chat, what is your definition of pro-black? So what would be your
my definition of pro-black? Pro just mean in that sense for. Like if you're pro-choice, you're pro somebody having a choice to do something. You're for the
cause.
You're for whatever that comes after it. So you're for black people. You're for the betterment of black people.
It's almost like the advocate.
You're for the growing of black
advocate.
people. So yeah, you're pro black people. You're pro their movement. You're pro their betterment.
So in that case, if a white person is pro black betterment, would they not be considered pro black?
See, and that's where I was going with it, because if you pro something and anti something else, you don't have to be that to be pro that. You see what I'm saying? But I get what we're saying as far as what it means to us when we say pro-black.
I got a question too. Definitely is there such thing as a pro-white without being racist?
Well, that's a good question.
So we can, a white person can't. They would be damned to hell if
they said they're
pro-white.
But I think that they can be pro-white.
Yeah, I think you can be pro-white as well.
I do too.
I don't think
and not be racist.
It's two totally different things.
Saying that I am for this race getting what they deserve.
Yes.
Being brought up to par with everyone else is different than saying I think I'm better than them. Racist is I think I'm superior to you because of my race.
Because
doesn't mean I don't think this race needs some help.
Right.
I think this race need to come up. So I think racism and
so there is no such thing as a
pro-white is different
because they had.
I think they just don't call it that.
I feel like racism has gotten rid of or have not allowed them to express that because of what racism is.
I think,
and it's a lot of times where a lot of things that we do is like you would see the racists, not like our allies or the non-racist people, but you would see the racists try to take what we do and they will try to dilute it, or they'll try to
put water in it.
Yeah, they'll try to convert it to something like DEI, for instance, where it was for everybody, it was for everybody, but they try to make it a black thing,
DEI
something negative, and it was something else that they tried to do like that. As much as I used to look at the news, I don't anymore because it can be depressing. The space that we are.
God.
Believe her.
So I just can't
believe her.
But the whole DEI thing, it blows me so bad because they turned DEI into black people get the jobs over white people. No. Qualified people of any other color that are a minority in that workspace.
Right.
Exactly.
That are also emphasis on the equally qualified people, not just because you're black, you get the job, and you're not qualified, you just got it because you're black. That's not DEI.
I think because it was just for minorities. I think one of the biggest people that were hurt by the erasing of DEI was white women.
Yeah.
So DEI was put in a lot for white women.
It was.
To find their place in the workplace, to not just black people or Asians or Indians or any other color. It was just white men at the time had the monopoly. They ran everything. So it's for everyone else that was the minority that wasn't a white man for them to be treated fairly in the workplace. And that included white women.
And because they had that simple-minded thought, they were part of the reason that it was a lot of these DEI was rolled back. And now they effing around and finding out.
You just ready to get that.
So I have another topic.
Okay, yeah, let's switch.
All right, so hopefully some of the ladies, Pierre, Tabitha, who was still on the earlier, I didn't see everybody else, but hopefully y'all are on there still for this one.
Dun, dun, dun.
My wife looking at my paper right here.
We can't see that paper.
No, I can't either. Say the truth. All right, so I was having a conversation at work with a couple of people.
Oh, this is the one that you tell us.
Yes. So, black women, women. But we're talking about black women too. So okay, I know my wife's antenna is up now.
All the way.
When we look at what in social media what women want from men, when we talk about and they say, "Oh, I can't believe he took me to Olive Garden and he could have took me somewhere big. He could have did this. Or he got to get my hair, nails, and stuff done. If he's not $1 million man. He's not a high value man. He got to be 6 figures. He got to be 6'5". He got to smell good. He got to be able to fight. You got to be able to do this. You got to have 2 houses, a car. You got to all this stuff. Okay, we got all that. So
thank you.
Now we know what a lot of women, and it's not for all women, because a lot of women don't subscribe to that.
Just say that again and match the.
Yeah, not for all women.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about all y'all.
God, dog. Okay.
So we hear, because women who are, some people call them ratchet or whatever, like they talk loud on social media. Those are the loud talkers. A lot of the very good women aren't posting. So we hear from the people who are posting and how they live today. So,
posting.
We know how y'all talk about black men sometimes. Some of you. But what are you teaching your sons? So this is what I want to know. If more black men are raised by single black mothers than anything else, and then more black women are talking about how sorry black men are who are raised by black women, do you teach a double standard? When you're with a man, you want him to do this, this, and this. But do you tell your son the same thing that you talk about your man with? If your son came home and said, Mom, I'm trying to get some money together. I'm trying to like this girl. I want to take her out, but she want me to take her to Ruth Chris, and I can't afford that, and she want me to get her hair and nails done. Most black women that I know tell their son, you don't need to talk to her. She wants you to spend all your money. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. They will tell their black sons the opposite of what they want from their black boyfriends.
Oh.
And I think there's a disconnect there. So black boys come on like, man, my mama said, if a woman just want me for my money, don't talk to her. But mama will also say, talk to her girlfriend, say, girl, he ain't got no money, leave him alone. If he ain't got this, if you can't get your hair nails, this done, and this done, and this done, and this done.
But it's a different
He a weak man. He a weak man. He a punk. He a chump. He a simp. Don't get him. Go get a high value man. But you don't talk about your son like that, and you tell him to do the opposite. Is that true, or do you tell him to do the same thing?
Well, I can't answer that. So
yeah, you can.
I mean, it's how you raise your son. I'm trying to redefine the question so it can.
No, I know what the question was. I know what the question was because I ain't raised my son like that. So that's why I said I can't answer that. But the fact of the matter is, it's a different set of men that are being sought after in both of these scenarios, because you have the mom have the men that she's, I guess, dating, unless she's dating the children, the ones she dating was raised by another group of women that more than likely was not teaching their sons that. Then you have those ones that you're talking about right now that's raising their own sons that are teaching them the opposite of what they're looking for. For example, my mom raised my brother. And then he will raise his wife will raise his son. That's 2 different generations of teachings. So I feel like it's generational is what I feel. Because you ain't gonna date the same ones that you're teaching.
Yes, I agree with that. To answer your question, yes, I do think they are teaching a double standard.
Yes, I do too.
I think you know how your brother or your uncle or whoever was raised, and you know what you want, and you know that little girls are probably gonna want what you want. So in order to raise men to be like how you want your man to be, you would have to teach your son, yes, you get her nails done, yes, you get your hair done, yes, you take her out to Ruth Chris if that's what she wants, where she wants to go. That's what you would teach your son. In order for this to continue, because that's based on. So you are, yes, teaching your child in a double standard, because you're not teaching your child the way you want a man to act.
But
in that sense, then you're
because
not teaching.
If you're not teaching your son this, when you grow up, you got to pay for everything and do everything. Hell. You got to be everything. You got to pay for everything, unless your woman is not going to stay with you. You have to buy everything. You have to be sensitive. You have to listen. You have to purchase everything. You have to take her out nice. You got to get her nails done, her hair done. You got to be the bearer of everything, because you're going to be expected to do so, unless you're going to be perceived as a weak man. But I don't hear that.
No, you're not going to hear that.
Right. So there is a disconnect between what black women want from men,
and
yet what black women are producing.
Men. Right.
They're producing
Absolutely.
young men that's saying, my mom said, like, now, if you all
Right.
about this money, I shouldn't talk to you.
Right. And you would be mad.
You know what I'm saying? You'll be mad at your son. You'll tell, leave that
Right.
woman alone, she'll go old digger, boy.
And you'll be mad at the girl for saying your son ain't S.
And if once the woman said your son ain't worth a quarter,
you gonna be
he
mad.
can't take me to Ruth Chris and he want me to go half. Now you like, hold on, this is my son. You should be able to pay half. You know what I'm saying? Now you come in with it. So
Yes.
I'm just saying,
I think it's,
are we producing something that we don't expect to happen on the back end?
But I also think it's how a lot of times I think it's how the women were raised also, because a lot of these women are learning this from their. I have friends who have moms that tell them, if he not doing this, and you leave him alone.
They got a daddy?
No, I was gonna go there. I was gonna go there. I was gonna go there.
That's why.
I was gonna go there. So I think when you have a strong male figure in your life, even if it's not a dad, even if it's like a granddad or uncle or somebody who takes on that role, you see men differently. You don't see them
or a non-ratchet mother.
Or that too. Yeah.
I think it's all about the aspect of it's teaching your child the game. Yes, it might seem like it's the wrong thing to teach them, but without teaching them that, they won't know what not to look for.
Yeah, they're going to go in the world green.
They're going to go into the world, oh, I don't need you at all. But you do understand at some level, you do need to have money, a house, a car,
that's right,
and all this stuff to keep a woman.
What a non-ratchet mom would teach.
A non-ratchet mom would teach them. But yes, you don't go out here and just flaunt your money for every woman, every thought, or whatever you want to call these young
a woman like your mom.
Right.
So that's
right.
Doesn't make sense still.
Because
a
mother's going to teach their son.
That's true.
Mother's going to teach their son how not to get got.
Yes.
How not to get got.
Why she teaching daughter how
While she's trying, like something trying to get me. And so what do you do? Like, I find it very hard when I hear women talk how when they say a man ain't SHIT. Or girl, get a real man. He ain't a real man. Would they say the same things about their son? You know what I'm saying? In giving the same thing.
I just think it's the definition in their head of a real man, because just because he got money or he can pay for your nails and your hair and all this, that don't make him a real man if he paying for yours and the next girl and the next girl and the next girl.
Pay for that.
And that too. Just because he can doesn't mean that he will. And I just feel like it's a lot of entitlement there. But like you said, I grew up with a dad. My dad got my nails done. My dad just got my hair done for my birthday last year. I don't expect anyone else to do that for me, because at the same time, you're not a sponsor. Like you have your own, like it. I feel like you should. I'd rather somebody want to do that for me than me expect that from me. It'll be much more meaningful if you just do it out of nowhere than, oh, this is my requirement. And if you can't do it, then you just eliminated everybody you know and everybody that's gonna be around you. To be honest,
I feel like it's social media and it's rap music.
Always.
I really feel like a lot of people are looking at social media. They're looking at these podcasts. They're looking at these different podcasts. They're looking at these different social media lives where they only show you the best part of their lives or the pretense of their lives, and what it means to have this type of lifestyle. You have to have this type of person to be connected to, or you have to get in your bag and be all about your money and don't deal with a man. Or I just feel like there is no real relationships on social media that are distributed to show what it takes to be in those type of relationships. Because if you're looking at social media and you're looking at, like you said, the recycling thing, you expect one thing, mom, when you're dating, but you're telling your son something different and you're telling your daughter something different, then it's just like there are so many mixed signals everywhere.
Right.
So it's like it's no real family connection that's being taught or that's being seen per se on social media or in real life. So people are just up for grabs and just listen to anything that they feel like gonna match the type of lifestyle that they want.
Right.
I just feel like too, when you said the single mother thing, because there is a lack of fathers in a lot of our households, I feel like people underestimate how strong the woman's word is to the kids. Because a single mother to a child can be the equivalent of him to me.
Right.
So whatever the mom say, that's what goes.
That's what goes.
Like, and people, I feel like sometimes I even feel like women don't even look at it that high up.
Especially the bond between a son and a mother.
Right, because even though
like the bond between a father and a daughter. Like I have a bond with Morgan, but our bond is different. He has a bond with you, but their bond is different because we're gonna teach y'all different things. I'm gonna teach you how to treat a woman. I ain't gonna say don't buy her this, don't buy her that, don't do this, don't do this, do this, and you go teach her what she needs out of a man.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying that's missing. Yeah. That's what's missing.
Because I feel like too, even though I have both of my parents, like y'all's relationships are different, but even with the dad, what you say go like that, you my mom. Like I'm grown, like if anything happens, you my mom. Like he can handle himself. He'll be okay. Right, he'll be fine. Statement. You, I don't care if you was a millionaire and he was a thousandaire. You know, I'm gonna make sure you good always because
that's right.
You're my mom, so I'm not gonna even sit here and cap like that. I know he's able to be a man. He's a man. Like,
I do think with the certain things, it does matter who it comes from because I want my mom to meet the guys that I'm talking to, but me, when I want my dad, I'd be like, Dad, I have this guy. I want him to come over. I want him to meet my dad. That's what's in my head. Of course, I want them to meet my mom. Just like Mackenzie with Mario, he called mom. He wanted mom to meet Mario. It's just a thing. Like I want my dad to scope out this man because that's the person in my life. I saw how he taught me. So I want my dad to look at him. And as far as how moms teach their sons about women, I want my mom to look at my girlfriend. That's just the kind of way it was for me. So I just think it's going to be different for me than with a lot of other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
But to go back to the topic of the podcast and the conversation that y'all were having in today's world, and what y'all all said, then yes, it is being recycled. I mean, it is a double standard that's being taught, because if a mom can say to her girlfriends that this is what I expect my man to do for me, and then you can look at your son and tell the son the same thing that a woman is expecting of him, that you expect from your man, that gold digger, then what that make you?
Right. That is where I was trying to get to, because you know, and I know a lot of women who are single. Talk to them. They have created this unicorn type man that they think is the type man.
They're building it.
I knew you gonna say
they building it. They build a dude. But are you raising your son to be that dude?
Right.
Yeah.
That you
and
have,
maybe that'll break the cycle.
This person in your head that you feel like would be your match, your man or your dreams. Are you raising your son to be that?
And then they wonder
So pretty much raise your son based off of your expectation of a man.
Of a man. And if that ain't it, if you don't expect a woman to treat your man, your son a certain way, why would you treat another woman's son? Because that's somebody's son.
Absolutely.
That same way, and all those signals being mixed. So I really want to talk about that.
Perspective, it is. I will say that I feel like it is a double standard.
Right.
And it's unfortunate because it's just when I don't see a lot of the different feed on my social media, whatever the case may be, because of the algorithms or whatever the case may be. But I do see some, because even like when the on the balloon, I like to watch the balloon pop thing.
Oh, I love that.
That's my guilty pleasure. That's my guilty pleasure. I be watching them too. I would pop the balloon. I would just for a response.
Find love or pop the balloon.
Yeah, and then you see, and like Marlon said, you do see these women that get on there, and it's like, well, what do you expect? Now you have some good ones, like some good answers with what they expect. And I said, okay,
a lot of them be shallow as hell.
Exactly. Yes. You see, like, well, he has to
love me,
have a 6-figure. He has to be 6 feet.
Like stuff like that doesn't make sense.
He has to dress real nice, smell real nice. Okay, that's normal.
Pop my balloon before you pop it for me.
You shouldn't say nothing financial serious.
I see him on it's crazy. Like one lady said, like, he has nice teeth, pretty hair, he's tall, like I like him. But
you want a doll.
I didn't like his shoes.
The one we were looking at.
So the dude was like,
that's it. It's just your shoes. That's all.
Your shoes.
So your shoes.
She disqualified this guy because of his shoes. So he said, "How many children do you have?" She said 4. He said, "How many baby daddies do you have?" She said 4. and you disqualified me for my shoes.
Child, baby, you looking at the wrong thing.
What are we looking at? Like, what are we after?
Or when the dude came out, it was the one that had just finished law school, but he came out and he had like on some not like tailored fit jeans. He just had on some regular jeans, just had like a flannel like type shirt on, and he had some dress with a little hood on, and it came out pop 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 pop, and so it was like almost everybody popped their balloons. So the lady was like, your name and your profession, and then he's like, my name is da 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 da. I just finished law school, and I'm getting ready to be at such firm. And so you could see the look on the women faces.
Yeah, but you need like, balloon back.
Follow each other. Nobody
can. A lot of them
can I pick my balloon back up?
Yeah,
Can I get another one?
Or like that, give them their balloons back. But for me, I just, I have always said that on the podcast with these women. If you're going to say your requirements or what somebody should bring to the table, make sure you can match that. So if you want a man making 6 figures, let's make sure you make 6 figures.
At least 4.
Right at it.
Maybe three. At least.
Like, how are you going to want something? You dating out of your league now. You work at McDonald's and want somebody to make 7 figures, and you don't even want to leave McDonald's because you want what you got.
No, they want to leave McDonald's
and be a housewife.
They just want you to take care of them.
But people earn. These people earn that. A lot of housewives that for love. Some of them don't earn it, but a lot of them earned that. Like. But for a man to want to retire you and do all that, you gotta. I don't know. I just feel like. I'm not going to retire nobody just because I just met them and they're my girlfriend or my boyfriend.
Women have leagues. Like you said, dating out of your league. Men don't have leagues.
I promise you.
A rich dude, if a girl fine enough and she work at Circle K.
I did it with Captain D's. You hear me?
Exactly.
And Crystals, he'll put on and makeup.
I will go to, you'll see me in that Crystal drive every day.
Upgrade you.
You know my word.
He'll upgrade a girl because he don't care. But women have leagues that most women won't date what they consider down, and men don't have a down.
I know a whole bunch of them that do.
We know, but they won't say it.
We're talking about social
media.
In general.
Yeah, because that's. I feel like too. This goes back to always relationship advice and stuff like that. Like a lot of people date, they think their spouse or their girlfriend or boyfriend is the materialistic.
Right.
My wife's not the materialistic part of. Like she's not materialistic. Like that's my wife.
She is not.
So me taking her out and spending a bag on her just for you to see that I'm spending a bag is foolish, and I'm not going for it.
Because that go back to that. I'm sorry. Go back to that Savannah James thing where what's the name?
Talking about LeBron James.
LeBron James, yeah.
Kevin Gates.
Well, Kevin, that's his name.
I want my wife to look at me like them white girls look at LeBron.
Yeah,
like,
but it goes back to the materialistic thing. It's like
a trophy almost.
That's her husband.
Lily has the most secured position of all NBA wives.
Right.
Don't think she worried about a couple of white women looking at
Right.
She ain't going nowhere.
I'm just saying, but that's her husband. She's not going to look at them like he's LeBron James, this famous basketball player. She lived with him.
Yeah, she's not in awe of him. She's been with him since high school.
That's not a basketball player.
Her child is also in the league now. Why should she care?
It's one thing to being in awe with someone. It's one thing to being in lust with someone. Versus one thing to be that person's right and standing beside them and being their support. Those are two different looks.
Yeah.
So
right. That part.
Absolutely. That just get Kevin Gates out of here.
But it just made me think of what Mackenzie was saying, like with him and Marielle, and he is so true because we saw a lot of change that came with our son for the good. Not that he was. Not that he had his own things that he liked to do, but she expanded his Facebook.
My brother started drinking matcha.
He started going to watch the sunrise.
Who is this
I
man?
tried to get him to be on the beach. Didn't want to be on the beach. Now that's his favorite pastime. He want to be on the beach.
Dew off the flowers.
You're right. So she introduced him to different things, and it's not necessarily expensive things. It's just quality time things.
Like we listen to music, fall asleep now.
They introduce themselves to different things.
And then I was just gonna say, and then and vice versa.
She wear retros now.
My girl has some retros.
She don't wear Vans.
And by the way, Mary, if you're watching, because she's a permanent part of this show, we love you, we miss you, and we hope you feel better.
And I bet she got a chain on as we speak.
Period. As you should.
Well, that was a good topic.
It was. It's 9:26. Do we have another topic?
It was something I got a statement I want to say.
Okay.
All right. And we more than welcome to piggyback off of it. Black people.
Dear black people.
Dear black people.
All of us.
All of us.
I think that I think there's time that we as black people take some accountability for our situation and our circumstance.
Yes.
That we really cannot look to the government to pick us up and make us this and give us money and give us this and make sure we're good. At some point, we have to.
But I want my Social Security because I paid into that. I'm sorry.
But we paid into that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to
we have to take a responsibility of how our race, how we look to other people. There's a perception out there. And I understand that propaganda was used against us. There's forces against us. There's media against us that portrays us as a certain way, has us look a certain way. The news portrays us as a certain way. And they might not pitch a story about another race one way, they'll pitch it about our race. Yes, there are a lot of things that are working against us and how people stereotype black people. That we're scared, we're scary, we're aggressive, we're criminals, we're abusive. Men don't take care of their families. They leave the home. Black women are thoughts. They just twerk all the time and say and do this stuff. So all these narratives out there that black women aren't this. They don't take care of their black men. They roll their neck. They loud. They talk. They're not submissive. All these narratives that they put out there about us, we can't wait for people to change the narrative about us. Right. We have to change the narrative about ourselves. Right. Something that our community has to say, okay, look at what we post. Look at our sitcoms. Look at our music. Look at everything that we have.
Oh, the balloon.
Even though we know that some of this stuff was forced on us, we're still perpetuating the same narrative.
Absolutely.
That we're trying to get away with. We're saying that, guys, we got to stop killing. We got to stop shooting. Every song we make is how many bricks we got, how much shooting, how much weight we move,
how much women,
how much women we got, how much I'm gonna bling my neck out, how I'm gonna get this, how I'm gonna do this. So, and then we're wondering why our kids raised up idolizing money over substance.
Absolutely.
Our TV show, we Boys in the Hoods, and we're South Central. We're gonna make all the power. We're gonna make all the shows that portray us as drug dealers and everything. And then we get on TV, and then we got the Housewives of Atlanta. They fighting on TV and throwing baddies and everybody fighting and stuff. So when other races have a depiction or a narrative on, I think black people are like this. That's what we are showing everyone by our own stuff. Yeah. Not the stuff that other people are making about us.
Right.
Or some of the other, we are making these songs, we're making these shows, we're making these posts, we're doing all this ourselves, and we're mad that other people look at us less than.
Absolutely. And we got to stop calling the people who don't do that pick-me's or whitewash.
Or whitewash, because
I'm sorry.
When do we change our own narrative? Right. And work on, instead of working on all the people that hate us, when do we say, let's just work on us patrol our own?
But here's the thing though, named a whole bunch of stuff, and it's just like a cycle effect, because we'll say don't do that, but then we'll turn around and we'll participate in that. And the fact of the matter is, our community, and a lot of people don't like to hear when you say that our community is like one of the only communities that really don't support one another. Now we'll support each other in grief. We'll support each other with George Floyd type incidents. We'll support each other with the incident with the young high school student in Texas. Carmelo, thank you. We support each other in tragedies. I was watching a clip on TikTok where they had like all of the black men, the Israelites. I don't know if they're a real group or not. I think that they are. But anyway, they're in the purple and they were marching or whatever. And it's like a lot of our brothers just marching quietly, forcefully, saying Bible verses, whatever the case may be, saying positive chats. And then our own people got on the post and was like, they ain't gonna do nothing. And then I don't know if these are bots trying to make it seem like it's us going against each other, because that's the narrative that everybody like to spin. But it's just like, the way we stop it is stop feeding into it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because if we continue to feed into it, we keep fueling it.
Because mess is more news than support.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like they said, black people don't support ourselves like each other. Yes, we do. We don't post that. We don't show that because it's not news. Mm-hmm. But when me and you beefing, that's news. We're going to talk about that. So we put out the negative. And when you help me, I don't post that. I just say thank you.
No,
or we don't highlight the fact that yes, we do. If we went to black people support, black supports black, and we made a movement, we post, we shoot, all we do is talk about the good things people do for us and how we couldn't have made it without the help of these people. We can start a movement to change the narrative, but we won't. But if we beefing, that's what we're gonna talk about.
Yep,
that's what we're gonna push.
So I think
because we have been capitalized on our plight. We have been capitalized on our drama, on our hurt, on our pain, on oversexualizing our women, thugging out our men. These are the type of things that has not even just in our community, but in the white community. Like they listen to our rap songs, our hard rap songs, the gang bang rap songs, things of that nature. They like to listen to that kind of stuff. But the fact of the matter is,
blood going.
Huh?
It gets their blood going.
Blood going. Yeah.
My brain.
Because it's like taboo. Because another thing, and I know y'all can tell I be on TikTok a lot, but it's another one where it says like when we want to look our best, and we'll put on like this nice evening gown or whatever the case may be, and then the first thing we'll do is throw on a nice silk European wig.
We need to talk about that next time.
But then with the white women, they not finna put on no natural Afro wig to put. Yes, they can.
Wig,
but when they do it, because they do. When they do it, it's when they're dressed in their disco costume parties,
70s parties,
70 parties type thing. Yeah. It paints a picture. This is what y'all are good for. This is what we see y'all as entertainment. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to sophistication, when it comes to elegance, when it comes to this is how you're supposed to look. It's the narrative is all. It's there.
Feel like it's not a stereotype no more. Like it's the real deal. There is no such thing as stereotype.
Exactly.
But to me, I would
you are who you are.
Yeah, you are who you are. All y'all do is this. You're right. Mm-hmm. Like that's how it should never be like that. It should be we fighting it. Cause I'm not that.
There aren't stereotypes.
You can't stereotype me. I'm not that.
Right.
I'm gonna start a whole movement, a black positivity movement that we just post and show and talk about good things, how the black community has helped us and how we're transforming and how we're moving forward, how we're becoming, better. Yeah. I want to do that instead of focusing solely on the negatives of our race, because no other race focuses solely on their negatives.
They do not.
And I don't like that.
And but to be fair, and I'm not excusing, this is not an excuse, but to be fair, we ain't the only race that's focusing on it. Every other race is focusing on it too. Like that's what they're showing. But we have to stop giving them stuff to show.
Oh boy.
Stop giving them ammunition for the gun.
Fuel to the fire.
Well, we go around. Final thoughts? Anybody? Any final thoughts over there? Or more?
I got something. We talked about the black positivity and everything. I'm going to get more information and post the flyer, but we have a friend that does Motion Day in the city, and it's like he gives back for the kids. He gets a lot of cars so the kids can ride in for the city, and it's a big event, and it's like a black-owned event. So I'll be posting that soon.
Okay.
Oh yeah, shoot! I just zoned out. I'm trying to think what I'm gonna eat. Mm-hmm. Even though I have a white wife, this ain't coming off.
It is what it is.
Stop. This ain't makeup. This ain't cocoa powder. This ain't suntan. This ain't lotion. This ain't a tan. Sharpie. This is the real black, right from the source. So
yes, real
from the source.
Black.
Just in case they didn't know.
Just in case. Makeup. If you don't know, now you know.
Because I can fight.
Hey,
I'm just saying, my fault. I'm just saying,
my brother.
His turn, his truth.
I can do it. I'm if you want to try, if you want to
take it, there it gets sticky.
little friendly fade. No, I ain't opposed to that. Put the guns down, gloves up. You feel me? I'm down for a little scuffle.
EJ, what you got for us to close with tonight?
I feel like at the end of the day, you just gotta love people for being human, man.
That's right.
Everybody's gonna make a mistake or two. Problems arise. My biggest thing for tonight is that to take away, like even from your perspectives or the people in the comments, just a lot of people don't know how to handle stuff in house. Like they get the issue resolved peacefully in home, so that way it doesn't look like a public
issue, right?
Issue.
Taking to Facebook and social media.
Like people don't know how to stop stuff before it happens, and sometimes there are people that do know how to stop stuff before it happens, but they're too stuck up or too I don't give a F-ish.
Yes,
that they just won't step in. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie, because it has been times where I have been that person that could have prevented the situation. It's just this personally, just was like that's not my business, but it's just like that led to something way bigger than it need to be. In an instance where someone might, not saying I was in an instance where someone got hurt, but that can lead to someone getting hurt.
Oh, nowadays,
so just
yes.
And 9 times out of 10, that's the person affected. It's not even the one of the two people that are in the conflict. It's everyone else. Like,
right.
Like, say you get into an incident where with her, now the kid's at home alone, or kid got to go with grandma. Grandma can't walk around for real.
Right.
So you just got to learn how to handle your issues before they become big problems.
Right.
If you can solve the little stuff, you can handle anything.
Nip it in the bud.
That's right.
The streets will handle it for you.
That's right. It's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable, people. It's okay to be vulnerable every now and then.
Yeah, I grew up with a dad and a stepdad, so I have learned that it's okay to be tough. But sometimes when your safe space is your safe space, let it out.
Yeah.
Even if they don't want to hear it, sometimes you just need to say it.
Okay. Hey, I like that.
Right.
Get it off you.
Any other final thoughts before we close?
You set it up.
Well, that was it, y'all. Hey, that was it. You just closed it out. Y'all, we thank y'all for tuning in again. You could always catch us. The shows are all recorded. You can go to YouTube at My Turn, My Truth Podcast. And you can go to our My Turn, My Truth Facebook page.
And
all
Instagram.
streaming platforms.
All the platforms. So
all streaming platforms.
Again, drop us a hint, drop us a comment, drop us a DM. You see the people up here. Let us know some topics that you want to talk about. Go to My Turn, My Truth podcast page on Facebook.
Yep.
And just drop us some notes. Tell us how the show went. Tell us if we missed something that we misquoted, or some facts that we got wrong that we need to clear up on next episode.
We are not above.
We are not perfect. That's
reproach.
right. We'll say some things that are wrong, a wrong date, or wrong name, or something like that. So make sure y'all keep us honest out there. We absolutely want to be.
Yep.
And we'll definitely see y'all next week. Every Monday, 8:30. Check us out, and we'll be there. So that's it. We love y'all. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless and good night.
Good night.
Thank y'all.
Don't forget to follow me.
Love y'all.